These are the things I found that work for me. If you found things that work for you that are different, please stick them in the comments, because what works for someone doesn't always work for someone else, and any new tips, hints, information that we can get on this is really helpful to everybody who's suffering with it. When I cook, I try everything before I put it in. So at the minute I make a meal for the family as I would have, standard ingredients. Most of those things I can't eat. So I will find things I can eat. So for example, the other night I managed to make a kind of lamb stew. Basically it had lamb in it, mint sauce, and some pinto beans. And I tried each of those things before I put it in to cook, to make sure that they tasted okay to me, and I managed to make actually something that tasted okay, and was hot, which, as people with parosmia will know, most of the food that you eat is cold because it mutes the bad scents. So when you're cooking, just make sure that you try everything. So obviously I knew I could eat the lamb because we'd had it previously, but I did still cook it off and try a little bit to make sure it was okay. I tried the beans before I tipped them in with the lamb to make sure that I could stomach those, and I checked the mint sauce was still okay. And that made, you know, a decent meal that I was able to eat. Tip 2, try to keep things separate. So a lot of the meals that I cook for us as a family, I make them in one pot. I don't particularly like washing up. That is the way I have always cooked. I don't use loads of pans. Totally changed. Everything I cook for myself now, I cook it in separate pots. Or I'll microwave it in a bowl, and then I'll microwave something else in a different bowl, so that I don't end up with a plate full of food that's contaminated by one ingredient that my body has suddenly decided is not edible. So that would be something that I would suggest that you do. Make sure that you keep things separate, because often that will enable you to eat a meal even if something has suddenly gone bad halfway through. I know that doesn't quite work with the tip that I had first, but they were fairly safe foods to me, so I felt fairly confident about combining them, but I still checked first. And when I'm going with things where I'm not really sure, or I'm a bit concerned that they might suddenly taste funny, I will always cook them separately. Keep trying foods that you've tried before that didn't taste good. What I tend to do is every time I'm cooking something for the rest of the family, I'll have a tiny taste. 99% of the time it's absolutely foul still, but it's worth trying, and you will never know if you're getting better if you don't try those foods. So it's really important to keep making yourself try them. And my final tip is try things that you didn't used to like. I have never liked sweet potato or parsnip, really. I mean, I'll eat them occasionally if that's what there is on the plate and someone else has made it, but I would never choose them. I was given some sweet potatoes, and it suddenly occurred to me that because they were sweet, I might be able to taste them, and obviously they're really healthy, so they would have a lot of vitamins and things in that I don't really get anymore, and they were lovely. So definitely review the things that you don't normally eat. Think about what it is that you normally avoid because you don't like it. Because your tastes have changed, you might find that actually some of those foods are now palatable, and it might be something that you can widen the range of food with that you eat. That's my tips for eating with parosmia. So I hope that some of those are helpful for you. And if you've got tips and things that you find help you manage the condition, please put them in the comments, because they will almost certainly be of use to someone, and I'm always looking for new ways to try and manage this.